Welcome back, everybody. A little disclaimer here. It's likely that the conversation I'm about ready to have will be censored by YouTube and other anti-science left-wing social media giants. The question is, why is the left wing stifling scientific debate? Joining me now is internist, cardiologist, epidemiologist, Dr. Peter McCullough. Dr. McCullough, welcome to the Chris Salcedo Show. The first confirmed case of the Omicron variant, or as we call it, the G variant, has appeared in California. Moderna's chief medical officer has said that we can expect new mutations regularly and will need to get used to booster shots every winter. Listen.
If you've been vaccinated, as you said, CDC has now even further recommended getting boosted. So I think those are the key things, Hallie, that people need to do now. If we're going to need a COVID booster, my professional opinion is that we will need it as a regular thing each winter, as you say, along with flu.
Okay, Dr. McCullough, do you concur?
Well, first, the periodicity, I think he has incorrect. There are 22 studies now showing the current genetic vaccines run out of protection effectively at 6 months. So an annual booster is not going to work. The other thing is that the current vaccines are coded against the original Wuhan wild-type spike protein, and now the spike protein has mutated considerably. It lost major effectiveness against the Delta variant. That only had 7 mutations. Now the Omicron variant, there's 30 mutations, Chris, in the spike protein alone, 10 in the receptor binding domain where it locks with the human ACE2 receptor, 3 are deletions, 1 is an insertion. This is a markedly different spike protein now. There's about 20 other mutations throughout the virus. This looks like a large evolutionary jump. It did arise November 9th. It was first seen in Africa on the border of Botswana in the last few days. That's where 4 travelers who were fully vaccinated were clearly identified as having the virus. So far, descriptions out of South Africa are that it's mild, and fortunately mild, very little nasopharyngeal symptoms, but it was too late to stop the flights. It basically had already been throughout the multiple regions in the world.
Gotcha. Now, if we are forced into annual inoculations, which of the current vaccines, either approved for emergency use or under review, are you going to be recommending for your patients?
You know, I've never recommended the vaccines. No good doctors do because they're under research. We can't actually apply any pressure or coercion or threat of reprisal. That violates the Nuremberg Code. That's a code of ethics that we all swear to. So none of the good doctors or the societies are recommending the vaccines. We're neutral on the vaccines. They're offered just basically in terms of being help with risks and benefits. But as we sit here today, the concern.
Yeah, let me narrow down the question again. Then, if you of the batch that we have to choose from, either those that are approved for emergency use, or one that is under review, which one looks more promising? Let me put it that way to you.
The one that has the most effectiveness, and there's been a variety of analyses now. First authors are Self, 1040, Cone. You can look. Your viewers can find these citations. Now, they're observational data. They're not randomized trials, but it looks like the best in terms of reducing the risks of hospitalization and death, primarily with the legacy variants, is Moderna. Moderna has 100 micrograms of messenger RNA. Pfizer only has 30 micrograms of messenger RNA. And then AstraZeneca and J&J are adenoviral vectors. They always seem to be in the rear. Now, the problem is that even in the best study, 1040 and colleagues, only 45% of the population has Delta. So we have not seen convincing data, in fact, no randomized data with the Delta variant that the vaccines can actually stop hospitalization and death. What we knew through the spring is that the overall effect on reducing mortality attributable to the vaccine from the Cone paper, large paper in the VA, was about 1.5% absolute percent reduction.
Yeah,
so it was pretty
Dr.
modest.
McCullough, really quickly, I'm up against the clock here. It's just give me about 20 seconds. The Novavax vaccine, which is under review right now, what's your take on that?
Very favorable. I think Novavax, without any genetic manipulation, 5 micrograms of the spike protein, very sore arm, but it should be free of systemic effects.
All right, Dr. Peter McCullough, appreciate the science. Won't be seeing it on YouTube because they don't do science anymore, but we appreciate the debate here on NewsMax and the Chris Salcedo Show.